Okay, so since I made my last video, there has been a crap ton of stuff that's happened in Overwatch, and today we're going to talk about all of those changes.
Lights are lit and there's sweat on your embrace. Just one other thing I dare. Lights are lit and there's sweat on your embrace. Just one other thing I dare. Lights are lit and there's time to your embrace. Just another dare.
What's going on, everybody? My name is AeroDono. If you don't know me by now, be sure to check out the information located in the description. I have so much to talk about in this video. I don't know how I'm going to get through this. I feel like I honestly am going to be talking for like the next 20 minutes, which is totally not true. I'll edit the crap out of this video if I absolutely start waffling to 20 minutes. But that's not the intention of this video. The intention of this video is to kind of talk about some of the stuff that happened in my last video and how things have changed since then. So, in my last video, we talked about a new character that was talked about in the Overwatch world. Her name is Yeti, little wee inventor from Numbani. Now, since then, we found out that she was there at the Numbani airport when Doomfist, who is a member of Talon, so big, huge shock there. I thought he was a hero, but nope, he's a villain. He's a villain. He's a member of Talon. That was interesting to note. Yeah, so she was there when he attacked the airport, and some of the Omnic robots there couldn't stop him. So, being the little wee smart girl she was, she decided to take those robots, some of the broken pieces from them, put them together, and make her own new robot. Thus, we have Orisa, the new hero in Overwatch, and she is super cool to play. She is super unique as a tank. She fires off this little machine gun, which is kind of, I guess, similar to D.Va's gun, but it's different. It's almost like a combination of that gun and Sombra's, little wee Uzi thing. It's great. It's cool. It feels really nice when you use the weapon. But the trade-off is, because it has such a high fire rate, Orisa moves slow when she uses it, which is not bad. I totally think that that's a fine change. That's cool. I like it. I think that's fine. She's really unique. She has a portable barrier that she just pops up. It's like Reinhardt's shield, but it's got its own little Numbani jazz to it. It's got HP like Reinhardt's shield, obviously not as much, but still cool. She can fortify herself, and I don't know, somehow her body has been modified so that she can activate this coating of shieldness all over her body that reduces incoming damage. Now that is crazy. That is super ridiculously cool. And then also she fires off a little wee shot, a little wee pulse of energy or some such. I don't even know what to call it. It's like a little wee grenade thing, and you can double detonate it. So it's almost like Junkrat's trip mine. You can detonate it early, but this one also, if it hits an obstacle, it will automatically detonate itself too. So it's cool, and there's added effects to it, like it tethers to nearby players and sucks them in when it detonates and slows them down. It's just really cool for moving people out of position. She's just gonna be such a cool tank to play. Can't wait for her to come, and I can't wait to see her being played competitive. She's gonna be super awesome. Now, since last we talked, there's been quite a few different changes that have happened to a lot of the different heroes in Overwatch. And I want to just highlight a couple of them because they're going to be really important when they all go live. So the first one is for Ana. Now, the damage on her rifle has been reduced, and I think this is necessary because the amount of DPS she can do on top of healing because of the damage of her rifle is just a bit much, and I think this is a much needed nerf for Ana, just to kind of put her in that balanced spot, just so that she's kind of not the most necessary pick. Currently she is. When you play competitive at the higher levels, she is the one healer you will pretty much see in every single composition, which is insane to see, but people recognize a good healer when they see it. She has really good CC, really good burst DPS damage, and also she can heal to really good numbers, and yeah, her survivability was pretty on point. The one thing that they were going to do to her that they reverted, thank God, was the nerfs to her biotic grenade. What they were going to do with it is they were going to drop the damage that it did and also drop the healing that it did, and this just did not make sense. Maybe potentially the damage thing would have been fine, like dropping the damage that does, maybe that would have been fine. But the healing thing I take issue with, because That is the only way you can heal yourself if you play Ana. That is the only way. Ana has no self-sustain at all. So I like the fact that nothing has happened to her grenade and they haven't nerfed it, because some of the changes they suggested I felt like was going to make it really, really hard to stay alive if you played as Ana. Now, the third hero that I want to talk about that got a little bit of a buff, some TLC, was good old Sombra. And this is really cool because she's one of those heroes that everyone groans when they see someone pick her. And I think there's multiple reasons for it, but these changes are actually really, really good changes to her. Without, having to modify her hack too badly or anything, without having to make some major changes to her, I think these ones are quite nice. So the first thing is when she hacks health kits, they're now seen by nearby players. So there's a certain radius where you won't be able to see them. So you've got to be kind of semi-close to them, which kind of sucks a bit. But it means that if a player sees a health kit nearby that you've hacked, they can go straight to it and help charge your super up faster. So that's really cool. I do like this change. This is really nice. The other major change that happened to her is her translocator cooldown has been reduced, and this is great because this is increasing her mobility as a hero, and this is really, really cool. So instead of it cooling, on cooldown for 6 seconds, it now cools down to 4 seconds. So you can throw it, use it, wait 4 seconds, and then you can throw it and use it again. It's great. It's a really nice change. The final major change to her is that the sound effects and VO for when she enters her invisibility stealth, that has been reduced. So she used to almost kind of shout to the other side, the other team, "Oh, here I am," as soon as she as soon as she got out of her invisibility. That's not going to be a thing anymore. She kind of still does that, but only to people that are within 15 meters of her. So if you need to get around behind the enemy team, I like this change because it means you can be ridiculously sneaky, and this is going to be good. This is going to be good. So Sombra's getting quite a fair bit of love, and I appreciate this deeply. Okay, so the final change we have to talk about, and this is pretty big, okay? This is very, very big. Lucio, oh my gosh, dude, he got some love. He got some hella love. First of all, this is kind of one of the most important things I feel, is his AoE field can now be seen by not only yourself, but also your team. Your team can actually see how close they have to be in the field for Lucio to heal them. This is great, but it's also great because if you're playing Lucio, you can actually see how close you have to be to your teammates to heal them. This is a really, really nice change. But in saying, the size of the AoE is nowhere near as big as it used to be. So it used to be 30 meters, it's now been reduced to 10. Like that's incredible. That's a huge nerf to range. I kind of feel like this needs to kind of be bumped up just a little bit. I feel like 15% would be better. Like halve it, not completely take it all the way down to 10. I feel like, I don't know. I kind of feel like that's gonna make it a little bit more difficult. But in saying, this means if you're playing Lucio, you kind of have to frontline a bit more. It means you can't really hide in the back as much. You kind of have to be a lot closer to the tanks, and I think this is going to make him a lot more exciting to play, because currently it's super easy to get bored playing Lucio. You just have to kind of hang in the back and just kind of, switch tracks every now and then and just bump the heals up, or bump your speed up. It's not really too much they have to do. But now I think the whole point of this was to make Lucio a bit more of a frontline player. And I feel fine. I feel okay with 10 minutes. I just kind of feel like I'd feel better with 15. So, Blizzard, if you hear this, if you could make that 15, that would be great. Now, the other thing is, because the size of his AoE has been reduced, it means his heals have been buffed. So his healing per second has been increased by 50%, and that's also applied to Lucio's Amp It Up ability. It means his Amp It Up is also buffed quite a fair bit, so that's really, really cool. In saying too, his ultimate, the sound barrier, that radius has been reduced from 30 meters to 20, and yeah, again, I think that's kind of to make him more of a frontline healer player, and that's, I'm not too worried about. I think that's totally fine. The only thing that I'm not exactly fussed about, which I know a lot of Lucio players will be happy with, is his wall ride ability. The movement speed, you get a movement speed increase by 30% when you wall ride now, and I think that's going to make him a lot harder to kill. And I'm not sure how this is going to work. There's quite a few maps where Lucio can just keep constantly skating around the middle objective and keep going up and up and up, so to the point where you can't really kill him. So I don't know how I kind of feel about this. I think, again, a good percentage to start off with would be 15. I think 30 is a bit much. But, and also considering the fact that when he jumps off of a wall, he gets a small little wee burst to his speed. I don't know. Well, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out, but I think this is going to make him a lot more OP. I think that's the kind of thing that unbalances this buff to Lucio. That's the only thing I think that kind of makes him a little bit more OP than he should be. And just after playing around by actually wall riding myself, it feels nice when you do it. Believe you me, it feels so great when you zoom on the walls. But in terms of the game as a whole, I personally don't think that this is the way to go with his things. But, you know, anyways, we'll see. We just have to kind of keep testing it out in the PTR and just see how it's going to go. The rest of the buffs to Lucio are pretty alright. The only other thing that I forgot to mention is that his projectile speed has been increased as well. So it's not 40, it's now 50. So his shots just fire, his Lucy OOs fire a little bit faster. So that's it. Now, of course, there have been some other changes that have happened in the game. Too many to kind of list. I, again, feel like I'll be talking for 20 minutes if I were to keep highlighting them. But there's just been a lot that's happened with the game, and I'm really, really excited to see this all going down. Anyways, that's all I wanted to talk with you guys about for today. So thank you so much for watching my video, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!